Speaking of anxiety.
Amazing segue.
Yeah. We're schmoozing now, just FYI. I want to talk about Big Mouth.
I know. So you and I watched it separately.
Yeah.
Which was sad, but also good, I guess, for this podcast.
The reason we didn't watch it together is because we just were so anxious. Like, we wanted to binge it on our own time, and our schedules are all over the place.
I didn't want to feel like I had to wait for you. Beholden. I didn't want to feel beholden to your schedule. I wanted to feel like if I wanted to wake up at 6 a.m. and watch all of Big Mouth, that I had the freedom to do that.
And if I wanted to binge it until 6 a.m,
exactly,
I could do that.
And that is where you and I differ. Because I was like, you're gonna want to like watch the whole thing like right now, and I was doing a little bit of writing that day, I think, and I was like, I can't be distracted. I'm doing serious work.
Yeah. Well, we finished it, and
we still haven't discussed.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess we unintentionally saved it for now, but I think it was. I think that every season gets better.
Yeah.
I think that,
and if not gets better, just doesn't get worse, which I think is like a huge feat for television shows.
I remember last year, they kind of fucked up in explaining pansexuality, and I read an interview with Nick Kroll, he's a creator, and he talked about how like they took all that feedback and they really made an effort in this season to not fuck
that up.
And not only they're also tackling race issues.
I thought the way that they handled trans issues and race issues was very well done. That is, of course, coming from two white women.
Yeah.
So take that with a grain of salt, but like
take everything with a grain of salt.
I mean, I was really pleased. I have in my notes that I wanted to talk about Josie Toda, who voices Natalie, that trans character.
Yeah.
She also is a trans woman and wrote this really beautiful piece in Time a couple years ago, because she grew up as an actress, and when she was younger, before she knew before she transitioned, she had been kind of what's it called when you're like put into a box of like playing like the young gay boy. And so on episodes of like Disney Channel's Jessie and on Glee, she was constantly cast in those roles and typecasted. Thank you. And she was saying, like, in this article that she wrote, that she understood that they didn't really know better, and she also appreciated being, you know, sort of this icon that people can look to as a sign of positivity, but at the same time, even as, like, what was a gay icon at the time, she still wasn't being true to herself. And at the end of this essay, she's basically saying, like, oh, I'm so excited to see the new kind of roles that I'll get to play and how I get to tell my story now that I'm fully who I am. And so to see her now voice this trans character on such a big show, I was like, that is such a great cast. And I feel like that is also them taking very serious, like, feedback from all the feedback on the voice of Missy, you know?
Yeah.
And, like, how that representation matters and what that looks like. And I feel like a bit of a hypocrite because when I saw that for Natalie's character, I was like, oh, that's amazing. And I was still so sad when Jenny Slate had to leave.
Yeah.
And I'm like trying to reconcile that.
Well, it's
thinking.
Missy was not a new character. Right. And so it's like a totally different thing. And having someone else change, like the voice is different. And it's just like a different thing versus we've talked about voice acting so many times. And you had said something like a lot of different shows or animated shows have different voice characters voicing the same character, but they all sound the same. They have the same voice.
Right. A really good example of this, as I said to you, but I'll share with everyone else, is Shaggy. Like, the Scooby-Doo franchise has gone through several different iterations. Yeah, Arielle is actually the voice of Scooby-Doo, if you guys don't know.
I'm the new voice. You wouldn't be able to tell.
You wouldn't be able to tell because that's what good voice acting is. But I forget the name of the original Shaggy, but when he officially passed it down to Matthew Lillard, it was like a huge deal. But, like, you cannot tell the difference. And I will say one of the weaker points in Big Mouth is that there were moments where I was like, that is clearly not the original Missy sound.
Yeah, and I think we both caught it like at the end, and I think maybe we wonder like when they switched it. And I think that I would love to like have this convo with Jenny Slate herself.
Jenny
and Ayo DeBerry is the new voice actor. Yeah, she actually writes for Big Mouth.
Oh, she does.
Yeah, that's why it was like an easy transition. Okay. So I think it just like made sense for them.
Yeah, I also looked into it. So Jenny Slate is credited on 40 out of 42 episodes, which means they were mostly
so it was just recording. The last two episodes.
But Ao is credited on 4 episodes. So what I think happened is there was some overlap where like some scenes were either redone or reshot. I know that specifically in the re-recorded. Okay, I'm sure that I know they have in studio footage, so reshot.
Okay,
I'm doubling down.
Yeah, I'm not.
No, it's fine. But someone had pointed out in the race episode when Missy's character is like, you know, confronting her own blackness, and she's like, no, I can't say the N-word. And everyone was like, yeah, because you're Jenny Slate. So you like literally are not allowed to. And so I was wondering if that was a choice that they made because Jenny Slate was voicing the character, or because they felt like it was a good choice for Missy's character. I would love to ask Nick Kroll that.
Yeah, let me call him.
Yeah. Hey, Nick.
No, I have to like, hey Siri.
Oh, call him.
Anyway, so that was all really, really nice. And I want to say my personal favorite of the show that I think they did so well was Jay and Lola's fingering. Yes. That was so beautifully done.
That's my belly button.
A great way. Do it again.
That's my belly button.
That's my belly button.
Oh, Jay, that's my belly button.
My older brother
available for voice recording anytime.
My older brother imitates Lola all the time, and I do enjoy it, but like sometimes it gets so annoying because it's such a fucking annoying voice. But anyway,
it's so good.
The way that they portrayed like the communication in telling a boy how to not finger blast you, and doing it in a metaphor of a dragon princess going into the gate, like that's shit that I want I want middle schoolers to see,
and also just the idea that like Jay was like, well, I asked all of my guy friends how to finger a girl, and she's like, well, did you ask a girl?
You didn't ask me.
Yeah, like.
And he's like, do you hear how ridiculous you sound, Lola? Why would I ask you about your body? I love you.
But no, I mean, I think that's such a good example. Like I've talked to my my cousin Kyle about how like the first time you have sex, especially as like a guy, you're only going off what you've seen in porn, and like, spoiler alert, no one wants to be fucked necessarily like you are being fucked in porn, and certainly not the first time you're doing it. So like you do have to ask your partner. And I feel like Big Mouth does such a nice job of just being like, no, just like don't be dumb.
The way that Lola's like, Jay, just let me show you and like guide you, and he'll be like, oh fuck, that's hot, indicating boys it's sexy when girls show you what they like.
Listen up, fellas.
Like the funniest tip that or like the one that I felt the most that his brothers gave Jay was the getting the like Cheetos from the vending machine, and it's like this thing, get your fucking arm in there. Have you been fingered like that where they like stick like, I don't know, one in there or something, and then it's like they fucking like are like trying to get a booger out or something.
Oh, I don't like that metaphor, but yeah, I know exactly what you mean. One time in high school, a man actually made me bleed because he didn't know what he was doing and was like so aggressive. And
he clawed out your,
I'm such a people pleaser that I never know how to, like, especially when I was younger, I didn't know how to be like, oh, I don't like that, because I didn't want to hurt anyone else's feelings, even though I was physically being hurt. And so I was just like, no, that's good. I like that. Thank you so much.
Or like, did you think like it was supposed to feel that way?
Yeah, I don't think I knew how it was supposed to feel at all until like really in college.
Yeah.
I just thought like men were incapable of bringing pleasure.
Yeah. So or I thought I was incapable of it. Or like, I don't know. I think I'm a little different because I actually like being finger blasted really, really hard.
Oh, you want to be like jackhammered with a index finger?
I know most people don't like that. But I remember
I don't want to feel that way.
This one time I used to live in New Jersey, and we had this like movie theater, and my parents weren't really around, so it was just kind of like a brothel. And
cute.
I had
Love that for you.
One boy in the theater, and like we were drunk, and I was yelling at him like harder, 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 faster, faster.
Who else was there?
It was just us.
Oh, okay. I was envisioning like a slumber party of all your friends. No, I were like harder.
The friends were probably outside in like the rest of the basement, and we were inside in the movie theater. And
dirty little girl.
Afterwards, he was like, "Oh my dude, you were like kind of scary. You were like yelling at me to like go hard." I was like,
I just want to feel something.
I couldn't go faster. I think that's just what it was. I hadn't been like diagnosed with depression yet. Still in high school.
Feel something.
Okay.
And as a quick note, just before we go away, I also loved seeing anxiety portrayed.
Oh yeah.
Only because that is, of all of the things that Big Mouth has covered so far, I think anxiety is the one that I probably struggle with the most, and just to like, I liked the personification of it being like a bug that just keeps coming back and like biting at you, and you swat it away, and it's like, no, like I'm gonna stay.
Yeah,
I'm gonna stay.
And it was a scary bug. Like when you thought it went away, and then it like
comes back bigger.
Yeah,
like more horrifying.
And you're like, oh no, can like oh god, what's his name? What's Nick character's name? Nick. Yeah.
Nicky.
No, Nick Kroll's.
His character's name is Nick.
Is it?
Yeah.
What's the other ones?
Andrew. They're named after him and his friend.
I think I'm getting confused because Seth Rogen is in it, but they did a funny thing where they made him Andrew Goldberg, who's Seth's best friend, who they actually like they went to camp. Anyway. Yeah, I felt so bad for him, and it was also an interesting peek into like Nick Kroll as like himself. What did he view himself as? And now he's married, and I think expecting a child.
Oh my god! Yeah. Congratulations, Nick.
So he got rid of Tito.
Yeah, I mean, I assume he got rid of Tito a long time ago. Dude's been very successful.
I mean, you can be successful and ridden with anxiety. Exhibit A and Exhibit B.
No, that's so totally fair. That's totally fair. Just calling ourselves out all podcast long.
Okay, I think that's enough of Big Mouth.
No, I mean, basically, the bottom line, the TLDR, is if you haven't watched it yet, you should.
Yeah, fucking watch it.
It's really good, and I also recommend watching it with your kids. Do you have kids? I don't know.
I have kids.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Tell me about them. I've never met them, and we live together.
Okay, don't watch 13 Reasons Why with your kids.
Ew.
And watch Big Mouth with your kids.
Why is 13 Reasons Why the thing?
They won't let their kids watch it unless they're watching it with their parents. They can debrief.
13 Reasons Why is just a bad show, though.
But it's also like bad mental health. Like,
yeah, I guess so. Yeah, definitely just watch Big Mouth instead, or watch like Bob's Burgers. That's a family-friendly show.
I love that